Hey everyone, this is going to be a review on lesson 2 in module 2. So real quick, before we even get started, I want us to make sure that we know what our assignment is. So I'm going to go into lesson 2 and I'm going to go into decimal jumping. And as always, to find out what your assignment is, you always will see the words, "What is my assignment?" on the last page of the lesson. So I'm on slide 8 of 8. And I see the printer sign with the words decimal jumping. So this is my assignment. So it will look like this. This is what you will submit to me. Okay, there's 10 problems. And so that's what we're going to practice. We're going to practice showing decimal adding and subtraction with models. So over here I have a few different examples, and you're going to have to bear with me because I tried my very best to get a highlighter in Google Slides, but unfortunately, Dodea has blocked all the extensions that allow a highlighter. So we're going to do our best with the little scribble, which we know I don't have the best of luck with. So I am adding 0 and 3/10 plus 0 and 4/10. Okay, so I'm going to show this on my tenths grid. Again, I'm going to use my scribble and I'm going to shade in. There are 10, this is broken into 10 pieces. So I'm going to shade in, since it's tenths, I'm going to shade in 3 of those tenths. So I'm going to shade it in. Like I said, bear with me. I'm going to make it a color so you can see it. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so that it kind of wiggles in there, okay? So I'm going to do that 3 different times, okay? Hopefully I get better with this as we go. 1, 2, and 3. Now I've got my 3/10. Now I'm going to switch colors and I'm actually going to use, oops, I didn't want to do that. Don't want to switch colors yet. Okay, now we're going to come over here and add our 4/10. We're going to use our same grid. Okay, and I'm going to scribble and I'm going to fill in 4 of them. I'm going to change my color up though. Instead of being red, I'm going to make it blue and we're going to scribble 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, that one was not so pretty. Okay. And then I'm done with the coloring in. So now I'm going to count how many are shaded in altogether. And if I count them out of my tenths, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/10 shaded in. And we need to make sure that we know that 7/10 is the first place value after our decimal. So this would equal 7/10. Notice I didn't have to use this one at all. Okay, you're going to see that when we use our hundredths. I'll show you an example of that. When you are adding tenths, you could need the second grid or more. But for this example, we did not. So our answer for this problem was 0 and 7/10. Okay, so that's how you show the model and add them up. So we're going to come over here and we're not going to do all of these, but we are going to do one addition and then we're going to do one subtraction. Okay, so again, now I am no longer using a tenths grid, I am using a hundreds grid. Okay, so there are 100 squares in each one of these. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this one over here because I actually think it's a little bit more difficult. And I like to always show you the more difficult ones so that if you face one like that, then you know what to do. So again, there's 100 of these and I'm going to count by tens to make my life easier because I know there's 10 here, 10 here, 10 in each column. So I'm going to shade in because we're talking about 67 hundredths. I'm going to shade in 67 of these little squares. Okay. So again, I'm going to take my little squiggle and do my best. So here is 10. And again, I'm going to make it a color for you and make it a little bit thicker. I'm not going to make it quite as thick on this one. Okay, there's 10, 20. Oh, I wanted it to be the same. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, 20. Oh, geez. 30, 40, 50, 60, and now I need to do 7. So I'm only going to count 7 squares. I'm not going to shade the whole entire thing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 67 shaded. I'm going to come over here. That's 67 hundredths. And now I'm going to shade 54. Now, what is very important to note is that 54, I'm going to still use this same grid. So we're going to get a little tricky here, okay? 54 of them. If I start here, I don't have 10 like I did before. So we're going to have to count 54 of them, okay? So again, we're going to shade, and I have, oops, I have 1, 2, 3, okay? Oops. 1, 2, 3, and we are going to make that a different color, and I'm going to make it thick for you. Okay, so we're at 3. I need to get to 54. 3 plus another 10 is 13, and I'm going to count by tens again. 13 plus another 10 is 23, plus another 10 is 33, plus another 10 is 43, plus another 10 is 53, and I need to get to 54, so I'm going to add 1 block. Okay, so now I'm going to add all of this up. So you see we colored all of these in, and then we colored some of them in over here. So what that means when we color in an entire grid, that means we have one whole thing. So when we added these numbers up, we had one whole, then we're going to add our decimal. And how many did I color here? I colored 10, 21. So I'm going to add my 21. So your answer there would be 1 and 21 hundredths, okay? When you color in an entire grid, it's 1. If I colored in 2 whole grids, it would be 2, okay? However many entire grids you fill in is how many holes you have, whole numbers, I should say. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to do a subtraction. Okay, so we'll do 78 hundredths minus 54 hundredths. So this looks a little bit different because we are subtracting. So here we were adding, so we had 2 colors and we added them all together. Here we're going to subtract. So we're going to start off the same with our lovely squiggles that I'm so great at. Okay, and we're going to shade in, again, this is out of 100, we're going to shade in 78 of them. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. We are, okay, let's start over again. We are at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and now we're going to count by ones to get to 78. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. Okay, so that's how many we're starting with, and now we want to take away 54. Okay, so I'm going to cross out 54 of them, and I'm going to use a different color, hopefully, okay? So let's try to take away 54 of them. So you could start however you want to start. I think it might be easier to start over here and start taking them away by 10 at a time. So again, we're going to use our squiggle, and we're going to take away 54 of them. There's 10. And I'll make it a little thicker maybe so that it shows me really taking them away. There's 10. We're going to take away 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, now I'm going to count by ones. 51, 52, 53, 54. Okay, whatever is just red alone is what I have left. So if I look, This was canceled out. 51, 52, 53, 54 was canceled out. So I'm going to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I messed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24. That's why. Okay, so okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to subtract 54 hundredths from this. Okay, so we had 78 hundredths, we're going to subtract 54 hundredths. To do this, I'm going to try and cancel out the 54 of these that we had shaded in. Okay, so I'm gonna start over here I'm going to start over here and I'm going to start taking them away by 10. So here's 10 and I want to end up taking 54 away. I'm going to show it with blue and I'm going to make it a little bit thicker so that you can really see it canceling out. There's 10. I need to get to 54. 20, 30, 40, 50, and now I'm going to take away 4 because I'm at 50. 51, 52, 53, 54. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're simply going to count the number that I have left, meaning what is the red that I did not cancel out? Our blue is what we canceled out. So we're going to count. So I crossed off here. I'm going to count the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24, I have 24 hundredths left. So to write that as a decimal, 0.24. Okay, very important that you know what your hundredths is. My hundredths is 2 places after, so I need to end my decimal in the hundredths place. So 78 hundredths minus 54 hundredths is 24 hundredths. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. You can come to the meet and ask any that you might have.